the Survivor finale, San Juan Del Sur.
Looks like we made it.
All right. Was that supposed to be Shania Twain?
No.
I'm just wondering.
There was some great moments this season. Oh my God. So many blindsides. So many stupidities.
Well, we're down to 5 right now. Everyone's got their own thing.
There's the 3-time divorcee.
The brat.
20.
Bitch. Ugh, an old-timey fireman.
Alright, so...
I don't know if I'd categorize Jacqueline as bitch. Bitchy at times.
Most times.
Alright, well, whatever. Jacqueline, at this time...
What a coincidence. She's quite pissed.
She's very pissed because John was blindsided and she was thinking about telling him to use his immunity idol, but then they were like, no, we're safe.
Alright, well... He's a good guy in real life. You people suck for taking a dump on him. How could you blindside him?
You don't know John!
Alright, well, Baylor's got some plans of her own. She's working out a Final 3 deal. Me, my mom, and you, Nat.
Well, we'll see if that happens.
Alright, well...
It's time for the first challenge of the night.
The reward challenge. And
this is a very special reward because if you win this, you win an advantage in the immunity challenge.
Right. This one was really tough. You had to untangle a rope that you were tethered to. That was like wrapped around this like...
merry-go-round thing.
Yeah. Then you had to take these logs and build a bridge.
And get over it!
That's right. And then once you got over it, you had to knock down all of the blocks like a carnival game.
With these sandbags that you had to untie.
There's always sandbags and puzzles. Alright, so like Maddie said, you win an advantage if you are the winner of this. Missy had to sit out. She couldn't do this one.
This is a strenuous task. Her ankle or foot or whatever
whatever it is was not working.
It's her foot, right?
Yeah. Kind of.
Actually, I'm not even sure now. Is it her foot or her ankle?
Maybe both.
Okay.
Natalie and Keith were leading. But Keith is a challenge beast. Old time, he pulls it out and he wins.
How does he do it?
I don't know, because at this point, he is basically a bag of bones walking around like a skeleton with some hair.
They all are. You can tell at this point, they're all just like, ugh. It's like watching a bunch of skeletons doing these challenges.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
Natalie actually looks really good, though. Like, she doesn't look as skeletorish as the other people, but she looks like she's really fit right now.
Yeah.
And the way she was running around, she did not look like she was suffering like the other people.
Is she like a CrossFit trainer?
She is a CrossFit trainer.
All right. So, because Keith won, he also had the responsibility of choosing someone to go to exile. And this is a big deal because...
It is a big deal.
There's not many people left. So, if you're missing for like 2 days... that sucks for you.
Yeah, because you're missing out on all the little hen talk.
Right, so Keith ended up sending Jacqueline to exile.
I probably would have sent Natalie if it was me, but that's his prerogative.
Alright, so all throughout the night, there were a bunch of live check-ins with Jeff and the studio audience.
I love the way they did it this year.
Yeah, it was good. So, during this check-in, Jeff was like, hey, want to know how much the survivors really eat? It's not much. It's about 100 calories a day.
He holds up a tiny little half cup of rice and he goes to this kid in the audience who I think was related to Jacqueline and he's like, do you want to be on the show? And she was like,
I don't think so.
No. But then he showed what typical people in America eat and I wanted to throw up when I
was
saw
like,
that.
I'm not eating that.
No.
What?
All right.
Crazy. America, please.
Change your diets. I'm not saying you got to eat rice, but... the hamburger and the bacon
fries,
and
though?
All right. That Coke though.
Moving on, we got limited time here.
All right. So
Jacqueline is a mess at exile right now. She's still reeling over John being voted out, and now this happens. She's exhausted. She's starving.
She can't start the fire. It actually looked like she was trying to start a fire on her scarf.
Don't do that.
It was a nice scarf.
It's gonna be okay.
All right. Well, at camp. The rest of the hens are chatting about getting rid of Keith. Don't you do it, hens. All right. So
all right. Keith takes his little
advantage
secret note and goes off on his own to read it.
And it says, yo, man, old-timey, you get to practice the challenge in this secret part of the forest over here, or jungle, whatever it is, in secret. And it's a total mousetrap game-like setup.
Yeah.
You have to move the ball through the little mousetrap contraptions.
Obstacles.
And get it all the way to the end without dropping
like these little paddles.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was cool, but it must have been very frustrating.
Oh, I'm telling you. So at the immunity challenge, Missy shows up, and I swear to God, it looks like she had 100 or so plastic grocery bags bunched up in her bra.
What was going on in that shirt? I guess you said it was probably from her bathing suit because she's got all that fringe, but it looked so weird.
It looks so weird.
I thought she like patted her tatas so that she wouldn't hurt herself with the crutches or something.
Did you guys notice these people are all losing weight, but the fake boobs never get any smaller?
No.
They're the same size.
Okay, so...
Just thought you'd like to know.
Missy is able to compete in this challenge because
you just gotta
you're pretty much standing there, so...
And she stole one of John Rocker's shoes that he left behind.
I thought it was John... Missy
Oh,
John.
Okay. Well,
Jacqueline John.
All right, so she took his shoe, kind of retrofitted it for her, cut out some of it,
nice.
and it was working pretty good, like a little boot, just like she went to the orthopedist. So Keith was leading. Well, you have to get 3 balls through the maze.
Okay.
Keith was leading.
He had a huge advantage being able to practice.
But not at first. He looked like he didn't practice at all at first, and then something clicked.
I think no matter what, even like if you did practice a lot, it was going to take a while to really get into that rhythm.
Right.
Because that looked really hard.
Well, once he got into the groove, he was flying through that. He got all 3 of his before anybody even got 1. I don't even think they came close to making it to the end.
It was crazy.
So Keith won!
Yay! Alright, so then another live check-in with Jeff, and this was so touching.
I wanted to cry my eyes out. They had this little kid, Austin, who his wish through the Make-A-Wish was that he wanted to
visit the set
of Survivor, so they flew him out.
With his family.
Yeah. Which was amazing. Oh my God. And he pitched his challenge to the, I guess, producer, and he got his challenge on. His challenge was the one that Missy hurt her foot on.
Last week.
That was an awesome challenge.
It was.
That was really complicated, and I can't believe he came up with that. It was really good.
He's a big fan.
But what a great, sassy little kid he was. He put Jeff in his place.
It was so cute.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I loved him.
It was awesome.
All right. So back to the show. Jacqueline is the plan. They want to get rid of her this week.
They feel like it's an easy move. Let's just get it over with.
So Baylor is all like to Natalie, yeah, why don't you play the idol for my mom, because nobody's voting for you.
So Natalie's like, we'll see.
Yeah. So at Tribal, Jacqueline is all alone.
Yeah.
Johnny Boy's not there anymore. You're going to have to do this all on your own.
All right. So Jeff is like, yo, this is the last chance for the romance with those hidden immunity idols. So if you got it, cough it up.
Exactly. Well, after the vote, Natalie did just that. She went up to Jeffy and she played the idol.
Well, she was like, Jacqueline, did you vote for who I told you to vote for? And she's like, So then Natalie used it on Jacqueline. What? Everyone in the jury was like, yeah.
And Baylor was voted out. Boo-hoo!
Yeah, when that happened, Missy was like, oh crap, I'm going, bye. It was Baylor. Crazy.
Bye,
I have to say, Baylor handled it like a champ, though.
She did.
I gotta give her that.
She did. All right, so back at camp, Missy's like, yo, there is no hard feelings here.
I'm pretty sure she was more upset about getting rid of John.
I think so, too. I'm going to have to
about
agree
Baylor
with that.
leaving.
Well, Jacqueline and Natalie, they decide that they cannot let Keith win immunity.
They're besties now.
Yeah, they're working together, and it's time for the immunity challenge. Oh, boy.
Okay, if we thought the challenge before this looked exhausting, the reward one, this was like...
This was like... No.
At first we were like, why are they going so slow? And then we were like, oh,
insane.
They're like near death.
It was a 4-story obstacle course on one side. Then there was like these other contraptions on the other side.
Well, you had to like you were starting out 4 stories up. You had to like go down this fireman pole, you had to go down this slide, all this stuff, just to get to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you had to go through 5 different obstacles to collect your puzzle pieces.
5 bags of puzzle pieces.
You had to go up and down the 4 stories multiple times throughout the challenge.
God. This fireman pole we thought was perfect for Keith, which it was. But it was not perfect for Jacqueline.
It looked like it was made out of wood.
Like, yeah, like
Splinters.
a tree. Like a tree.
Yeah, Jacqueline, it didn't seem like she understood how this worked because she plopped down a few times.
Yeah.
And at one point, Jeff had to like go over and be like, are you okay?
Yeah, because it looked like she was going to black out. All right, so Keith was leading, but boy, that window, it was windy.
It was.
It kicked up, it was blowing puzzle pieces all over the place.
So everything really evened out when they all got to the puzzle. At one point, Jacqueline could not even open her puzzle pieces.
She was so exhausted.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy.
She was like really far behind, and she made a huge comeback and won immunity. I could not even believe that she won.
Did you guys see the dirt mustache on her face?
That was hilarious.
I just had to point it out because I couldn't stop staring at it.
It was even funnier when she was smiling with it. Alright, so back at camp after the immunity challenge, Keith's making his pitch to stay. Yeah. He's like, kids, get rid of Missy because everybody's gonna feel sorry for her because she's got that like hurt foot. And
I think this was a mistake. I think that was the wrong pitch for him to make. Because I think that they would be more likely to want to get rid of Natalie.
Right.
Because she was such a big threat.
I thought for sure that they were going to blindside Natalie. I thought for sure this was their chance to get in there.
Well, let's talk about Tribal. Jeff was all like, oh, Jacqueline, Natalie saved you. Are you going to do the same?
Yeah, you going to do her a solid? Well,
I don't know.
But you know what? Natalie did a lot of dirty.
I mean, she did
take out John. And others.
Yeah.
And she's making her pitch, you know, you guys should really get rid of Keith because everyone loves him, you know.
Yeah.
It would have been funny if she did that.
It would have been awesome. And then I thought the huge red flag was when Natalie was like, yeah, I think I can win. I think I definitely can win.
That's usually the kiss of death.
Hello, people, wake up!
Well, they had the vote, and unfortunately, our beautiful, lovely, old-timey fireman Keith was voted off.
No!
Not only was that, like, the saddest part of the show tonight, but it was the dumbest move ever on Jacqueline's part.
Yeah, I would say for Jacqueline, definitely, because
she got that second life, and
she had a way better chance.
She blew it. All right, so another cutaway during the show. Jeff standing there with Keith's wife, Dana.
Yeah.
She is a
They've been married for like
woman.
30 years.
Didn't you love the wedding photo? He was just like,
yeah.
Loved it. He spits a lot. That's true.
That's how he is in real life, apparently.
Everything about Keith is true. There was no filter there whatsoever, which I loved. I love when people on reality shows are real, not fake.
Very nice. Profound.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the final 3. We got Natalie, we got Jacqueline, and we've got Missy.
Well, they get the food basket celebration as usual.
Woo!
The old breakfast with the bacon, the eggs, and
orange juice.
Mimosas.
All right, so let's get to the good stuff. It's time for the final tribal council.
Let me just say, I was a little disappointed they didn't have the torches.
They don't have time for that anymore. Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right, well, the only thing that stuck out to me was Alec, close your damn mouth.
It's been open since day 1.
The whole time. It was like a black hole. I was getting sucked in. I couldn't look away. So they had the opening statements. Missy said, I hurt my foot and I didn't quit.
All right. Jacqueline was all like, I had a lot of ups and downs and... What does that say?
No uterus.
Oh!
I was born without a uterus.
Well, she was like, yeah, I want to use this money to start a family with John.
So what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
All right. And then Natalie was like, yeah, I made big moves all by myself.
Did I happen to mention I did this without my sister?
Yes.
Okay, so they did the jury questions, and it was like kind of mixed, but
It seemed like Baylor was campaigning for Missy.
obviously.
John was campaigning for Natalie. I mean, it wasn't even questions.
For Natalie.
I'm sorry, for Jacqueline. It was just like...
And Jeremy went up there and he was like, yo, you all know that Natalie's the best. Give her this win.
Yeah. All right. They pretty much all had their minds made up
It
before.
did seem
I don't
like
think
it.
anybody changed their mind during the jury portion of the show.
Yeah, I don't think so.
My God, Alex, shut your damn mouth!
Aside from Alec being like this the whole time, the highlight of the tribal council was Reed.
So good.
This was insane.
We were squealing.
I pulled an
with
Alec. I was like,
delight. It was great. Reed totally Susan Hawked her.
he did.
He was like, you suck.
He was basically like, anyone who's a fan of classic literature will know exactly who you were in this game.
The evil stepmother.
Yeah, so he goes on this long thing about how she sucks and like...
Well, it turned out she really was a stepmother in the end, but we'll get there.
All right.
Baylor cried.
Oh my gosh. She was just like...
She didn't cry because she was upset. She cried because it was true.
Well, Keith was all like... And she was just like, stop.
All right, so it's time for the vote. And I love how the show spilled over into the reunion section.
Been doing that the last few seasons.
Yeah. So we find out that Natalie wins with 4 votes.
Congratulations, Natalie.
I'm kind of glad that Natalie won because
I feel like she played the best game out of the 3
Yeah.
that were left, for sure.
Yep. So we find out that it probably was better that she didn't have her sister there
Probably.
because
She
one
didn't
of,
have that distraction.
and I think it was much, much less annoying for the other people on the show.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. So Jacqueline, you totally blew it. You totally blew it.
Yeah, I think she definitely made a mistake by taking Natalie to the end.
If she had taken Keith to the end, you know how they play devil's advocate and they're like, all right, if Keith was here instead of Natalie, how many people would have voted for Keith? Jeff surmised that Keith would have won, but I really don't think so.
I don't buy that because the people who raised their hands were like, oh, you raised your hand? Okay, I'll do it too.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
kind of like, would you really vote that way?
I think Jacqueline would have won if she had taken
I feel
Keith.
like she would have too, but I don't know. Whatever. I think
And-
she would have had a better chance for sure.
We also find out that there's a lot of tears over at Jeff's house. They talk to Keith, and Jeff is like, I really love how real you are and how emotional you are. And you cry.
almost cry as much as I do.
Why are you crying so much, Jeff?
You're like Sam Smith.
Oh my God, he's so emotional. And then they revisited the whole stick to the plan.
Oh, Keith. That's like a classic Survivor moment now.
Yeah.
That's going to go down in Survivor
That's going to be in
history.
the top 10 of classic Survivor moments, I think, for being dumb.
All right. Well, they can't have John Rocker on the show and not talk to him. So they brought
Was that
up...
hair ridiculous
It
or
was
what?
pretty bad, but I was waiting for the...
Wes took care of that.
Okay, so they brought up the whole situation where Natalie was mouthing off at Rocker. And they were like, so what brought that about? And she was like, I blacked out and it happened. I don't know. But that was like the second time that she was like, I blacked out and something happened.
And I don't remember. That happens a lot. That doesn't sound very normal.
I think it was just like a...
Rocker's like, hey, we're all friends now, right?
Yeah, it seems like water under the bridge for them.
Whatever.
So that's good.
I'm on the show still, right? All right.
Okay. So then Jeff was talking to Josh and Reed, and they're popular. They are so popular.
They are young gay Christians, and they are a model for many other young gay Christians out there, and I applaud them for one because
I'm glad to see that they're making a difference and really showing people, you know.
you can be young and gay and still be Christian.
Not that you have to, you know what I mean? It's like,
No, I mean,
it's inspiring for other people who are like them who maybe don't have
yeah,
the acceptance.
the support.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I loved them this season. I thought they were fantastic. Reed
Yeah.
was probably my number
love
2,
him.
you know, behind Keith. Mm-hmm. All right, so John and Jacqueline, what the hell are they doing now?
Are you still together after that fight?
Yeah,
Duh.
we're engaged now.
Yeah.
you know...
Congratulations to them.
Usually at the end of the show, when I see these people in real life, I'm usually like, well, I may have misjudged them or whatever, but not John.
What is your problem?
I still don't like him.
Why do you care?
I don't know. And they went through the whole, oh, we don't argue over stupid crap in real life.
Not on TV, anyway.
Yeah. All right, so then they revisited the whole Missy, yes, you're a 3-time divorcee, been married 3 times, divorced 3 times.
Well, you know, I think this experience really helped her because she was like, yeah, I got some freedom from this. Like,
yeah.
It's out there now.
It's the best therapy that she could have had because there's no more hiding it.
Good for you, Missy.
And Baylor was like, yeah, we're just as tight as we were before, whatever.
Well, what about Missy and Reed?
They have not made up.
No, they did not. And it was really awkward.
We find out about how Missy was a step-parent, and if he had known that, he wouldn't have said all the things
and
he
Reed
said.
was like, whoa. I was talking about the game, and I have to say, he made it very clear that he was talking about Missy in the game.
Right.
So hopefully those two can work it out.
I hope so, but if not, whatever. The next season of Survivor is the lucky number 30.
Wow.
30
I can't believe it's season 30.
Of Survivor. Now this one's a special one. They've never done this one before.
This looks really exciting. The theme
I'm
this
excited
year
about it.
is Worlds Apart.
Which means there's 3 teams.
Tribes. It is season 30.
I think I would get it by now, right? There's white collar, blue collar, and pray tell, what could the 3rd tribe be?
It's no collar.
I love it.
It's gonna be awesome. What about like a Peter Pan collar? No?
No.
Okay.
All right, so it starts February 25th. I'm thinking it's somehow going to coincide with the Super Bowl type thing, maybe. Usually they have it like right after the Super Bowl.
I don't know about that because he said that Amazing Race is going to be on the same night too.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be around the time of the Super Bowl.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the best part of this whole thing, commemorative buff.
With all 30 logos! That kiss is on my list.
Well, it was on everyone's list in the audience too because they all got them and put them on and it looked
awesome.
amazing. Oh, I want that.
We're getting those.
Yes. All right, kids. I hope you enjoyed the season. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Are you happy that Natalie won? Do you think she deserved it?
Who would you have liked to see win if you didn't want Natalie to win?
And which tribe would you be on next season?
We're definitely
no collar.
All right. So, guys, till next time.
Much love.
Edit.